Ciao, Felipe.
The company car.
No, GT, old and limited.
Good to see you.
Nice choice of wheels. Classic.
Hi, Michelle.
Hello, how are you? Nice to see you.
Nice to see you. Need help with the bags?
Tom. Not yet. This was for sure.
Hey, Mika.
Great to see you.
Hey, Mika.
Whoa,
Long time.
that was a nice journey to come here.
Yeah, good.
Beautiful English weather.
Yeah, like always.
I'm from a very humble background in that sense. So my father could not afford to to support me in karting. I'm homeborn on a gas station, and my dad was racing cars, touring cars.
Okay.
Ford Escort, Mach 1s, both on asphalt and,
okay.
and off-road. So when I was wearing nappies, I was taking to races and watching. So it kind of in my blood. And then sometimes I was driving the car around the gas station when people were coming in for
Yeah.
refueling.
Yeah, for me it was completely different because my surrounding was not at all motorsport.
You're not born on the gas station, I
No,
imagine.
not at all. I was born in the field of rose and jasmine, so it's completely different.
Yeah.
My family was growing flowers for the perfume in Grasse, which is the capital of perfume. I started driving by myself. I was 14, but just because it was fun. I was a young girl, very active, very sportive, and ready for any adventure. So I wanted to move the car. I don't know why. So one day I took my father Citroën 2 CV, the small car, and with friend I said, we have to move the car. So up I started to drive, and my father saw the car passing through the kitchen window, and he said, somebody is stealing my car or what? And then he realized it was me. For me, a car was independence, freedom, moving around, going, traveling, but nothing to do with motorsport. Motorsport arrived to my life when I was 21. And you?
My father gave me a little motocross when I was 6 years old. And I was asking him, I want to race. And then he was a little bit afraid because I was starting to jump, I was starting to, to get some stretch. So then he said, I think it's better 4 wheels than 2 wheels, So when I was 8 years old, he bring me to like a little karting school.
Qual o seu nome? Felipe. Felipe do quê?
I remember, when I drove this day, I was like in love. And it's unbelievable because when I start racing, I knew this is what I want to do. I was never like thinking about other things. I grew up in Interlagos, in the racetrack, watching all the races in the past, in the grandstand. At the time, Senna was like a god in Brazil, 3 times world champion. No one could even dream to follow him.
Yeah, well, I started motor racing. I think I was around 6 years old in a karting. And of course, young kid, you want to go flat out and you like the speed. But it didn't start really well. Very first time when I went to go-kart track, the place was called Keimola. Very beautiful track. Then I sat in a go-kart and said, this gonna be fun. And of course I went flat out. Full gas immediately, and I turned in too early. And I touched the tire, and of course the whole go-kart went
really?
upside down. And I'm lying there, 6 years old kid, and I can see upside down when my parents are running flat out. Oh my God, our dear son is dead! And of course, parents were shocked. I remember the faces. They were like, "Oh my God!" And it was actually was good. What happened was because I immediately realized that way. This is dangerous sport.
Über 10 Runden. Die Wertungsläufe sind sehr wichtig, meine Damen und Herren, denn es geht jetzt um die Teilnahme.
Ein anderer, der nicht für Deutschland startet, obwohl er aus Deutschland kommt und sogar Topfavorit ist hier für die Bahn in Kerpen, ist Michael Schumacher. Du startest für Luxemburg. Warum?
Weil in Deutschland müssen wir Qualifikationsläufe fahren und das kostet Geld. Und wenn wir da ausfallen, sind wir nicht für die WM qualifiziert. Und in Luxemburg sind wir als einzigster Starter und das kostet kein Geld und wir sind qualifiziert.
Und wer hat dir denn diesen Tipp gegeben?
Ja, durch meinen Sponsor ist das gekommen.
I remember seeing you in Denmark when we started a bit in karting. I remember it was, I have the picture, it's in Rødby. And I remember this white, or it was white at once, I guess, your leather suit. It was kind of oily. But
The weather wasn't so good either, I don't think.
It was white with blue stripes.
Yeah.
So you guys raced together?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
And I remember taking notice that, hey, we have to watch out for this guy.
Dansken Tom Christensen som vann förfinalen. På nummer 11, Mika Hakkinen.
I remember that it was Formel Nordic, I think. I mean, the junior category.
That's I
We did
remember that one.
many races there where we touched, so maybe we shouldn't touch on that
Yeah,
one.
but it's okay.
But the racing was good, and any of us could have won because I literally think we changed position 8 times in the final, and we were really close.
But this guy don't give up, I tell you.
End of 72, I started to do Monte Carlo as a co-driver. My father loved rally, loved cars. So what he couldn't do, he offered to me. He said, I know you like to drive. To see you on the passenger seats, I don't like it. Why don't you try? I said, okay, but what I will do? He said, okay, I will buy you a car. I will pay for good condition for 1 year. And if you are good enough, you will continue. If not, you will stop. Oh, I said, okay, I will try to show you that I can.
Droite et gauche à fond. Droite 85 qui resserre.
Oh, you could hear the wind.
Yeah, it's windy outside, huh?
What a calculation to do. Okay. One more. No need. That looks fantastic.
Thank you very much. You give
And you? Over.
19.
19.
25 is more, no?
I joined 1990 the West Surrey Racing.
Dick Bennett's.
Dick Bennett's, yeah. It was a very good year indeed, winning a British championship. End of the year, there's a race, F3 race in Macau, where all the top drivers are coming around the world. Everything went perfect, all the practice.
I'm quite pleased because the pole position nearly 1 second in front of the Michael Schumacher.
This time is really fantastic, but it's not impossible.
There's 2 races. So I went first race, everything went perfect. So I won the first race about 2 seconds. I was leading the second race and made a mistake or something.
Why are you always turning right?
I don't know, because
and
it's
never
just
left?
natural. So Michael was able to overtake me. So if I would have finished behind him just inside the 2 seconds, I would have been overall the whole race. So then it's like 1 or 2 laps to go and Michael is leading and he made a big mistake in a really high-speed right-hand corner and I saw what I can do. I have to overtake him. But he was so slow, so I was really going really close to him, catching a toe and going to overtake and I could see his eyes in the mirror looking.
I know I see him in my mirrors, and then the whole time I see him in my mirrors, he close up to me, and then he goes off the gas and he stay behind me. And in this time, he close up, and I see it, and I go to the right side. In this moment, he want to overtake me, and he's so quick in this moment, and he couldn't brake.
Lost the whole race. Terrible moment. Then 91 I joined Formula One. So the Team Lotus Peter Collins signed me to race there, and then the hard work started. Yeah.
Schumacher was available this weekend. He had no other commitments. I've seen him in Formula 3, and I have this, or the team has this attitude to give youth a chance. We think it's a progressive way to see what the potential of Schumacher is for the future.
I'm really happy. With this car, you can do this qualifying time. You know, the car feels really good, and it makes a lot of fun to drive. And also for the time, I'm really happy, yeah.
I'm convinced, and my lawyers have advised me, that we have 2 signed legal agreements with Michael Schumacher.
There were some points where Eddie and me can't agree, or I can't agree with Eddie, let me say like this, and I can't accept this. You know, I wouldn't sign a contract which is not good for me, and I got a contract from Benetton which was good for me.
It was really interesting to follow people who I have competed with in karting, including this man, progressing in motorsport. I was racing, but it was tough times. I got a chance at Brno with an older car. Michael was at that race, his career was on fire. From Denmark, there was nobody, there was no fundament to help us Danish drivers. It's basically 3 years where I managed to get a job at my first application. I'm a bank clerk. And at one time, they asked me in the middle of the summer if I had a big license for a truck license. And I said, yeah, of course, I'm a driver. And then I was driving the bank bus for some time around in small cities. So it wasn't until the beginning of 1991 I got the call from Formula 3 team in Germany. And I won the championship. And then the last race in Hockenheim, I beat your lap record of the year before. Of course, my car was more sophisticated, more developed. No, but it meant so much to me.
Of course.
Hey, come on, you guys are racing in Formula One.
Yeah, I fully understand.
And so I had to find anything I could, any little proof I could, that at least I had a little bit of talent.
Good.
Tom Christensen, wie geht's jetzt weiter? Die Zukunft, was soll sie bringen?
Aber das wird sehr, sehr schwierig. Ich bin Däne und in Dänemark ist das leider nicht die so große Tradition für Motorsport, aber ich spreche viel mit vielen Leuten, aber bis jetzt ist kein konkrete Angebote oder so von Sponsoren und so.
And I went to Japan. I spent 5 years in Japan, driving different things.
No. 1 more. 22.
Yeah. So.
Over.
My father was very important because he was helping me to find the money to go to Europe. Then I won the Italian and European championships on the same year. So then I had many people trying to get me under contract. And this guy organized a meeting for me in Maranello with Ferrari. And I didn't know, but there were like watching everything that I was doing, testing, telemetry, racing, everything. And then he said, okay, what we're gonna do is that we will sign a contract with you as a young driver for Ferrari that it never happens before. But you cannot tell anybody. So it needs to be secret. So then I signed a contract for 8 years with Ferrari. And I couldn't say, I mean, I signed a contract with Ferrari and I cannot tell anybody, only my family. That was really hard,
frustrating.
you know? And then I raced with Sauber.
Ferrari engines.
Still Ferrari engine. And then I had this call saying that Ferrari took the decision, the driver that they decided. So I raced 2006 for Ferrari, and for me it was like a dream come true. I'm really, really happy and ready for this challenge.
For me, when I finished my amateur time with Renault, Alpine Renault, I got a phone call from Fiat France, and I did 3 years with them. I was a full-time work driver.
Did you have Sean Todd, co-pilot for you?
We have been in the same period.
Okay.
Yeah, but he was co-driving,
not in the same
with
car.
me. No, he was with a top driver at that time. And then, before the end of the season, I got another phone call, but this one was a little bit different. First, they were talking in English, and of course, my English was zero. I understood Audi. I understood the accent, German accent. I understood four-wheel drive.
Yeah, because quattro.
And I understood World Championship. And I said yes. I said yes immediately. Yes, yes, yes. And so they invited me to Ingolstadt. I remember that they proposed me to drive with Hannu Mikkola, who was the first driver. And I didn't ask for money or anything. I just said yes, and I signed. It was fantastic.
I had come back from Japan and I was driving in Formula 3000, and I was leading the championship, and I got the phone call. I was Ralf Hüttner from Germany, and he represented Joest Racing, and he said, Tom, it's Wednesday evening, can I talk to you? Le Mans is the following weekend, and we are entering a car and we are going down there in a few days. Friday morning I flew down to Waldmichelbach and entered the Joest Racing, and the car would be entered with Michele Alboreto and Stefan Johansson, and the team had just left for Le Mans. And then over in the corner there was a monocoque, and there was one mechanic, he was sweeping the floor. So I jump up and sit down in the seat. And I heard them speaking German that that's the seat from Michele, from the test they had done. And hearing that, I said, maybe if you could put the brake pedal a little bit back, then for me it would be perfect. Then the mechanic, Jürgen, an old guy, he puts his face down close to me and just pretending to whisper. And then he says very loud, he said, hey, in our team, der schnellste bestimmt. The fastest decide in our team. And I was a little bit, all right, I better sign the contract first. That's pretty rough. But Le Mans is much more than the race. Both Stefan and Michele were great, but particularly Michele, as he knew both the race and the car a bit more. He was never telling me what to do, even though I came with no experience of Le Mans or the car. I was pretty nervous getting into the car initially. In my third stint, it was even starting to get into the the sunset and getting the sun in your eyes. When I was driving at night, it was close to 3 o'clock a.m. and I knew that's going to be the key, just hitting me at that moment and understanding I'm in a team which has a chance of fighting for the podium. Lap times were getting better.
Tom Christensen did 4 stints in a row and he's still blasting times here.
I kept going and suddenly on the radio, Ralf Jüttner, the team manager, came on and he said, schnellste Runde, Tom, means fastest lap. And a lap later he said, lap record, keep it steady, young man, keep it steady. You get a German to speak to you in English. I really was happy. We caught it past one of the works cars and won the race. I've never done anything like that before. Nothing took so much out of me like Le Mans 24 Hours. And I found Jürgen, and I just put a finger in the back of Jürgen, and I just said, Jürgen, if there's going to be a next race, can you move the brake pedal a little bit back? The call and the win was in a short time for me, but it has taken a long time coming in a way.
Rallying is a very endurance discipline, and you have to drive night and days. For example, we average of special stages around 1,200 kilometers.
Nice.
So and
really
it's
long.
between 2,000 and 3,000 kilometers, depending the events. So it's
really long.
It's a long.
Yeah, and the cars, you know, they are.
Yeah, and so you have to take care of the cars,
and they're not so comfortable
and you have to take
inside.
care of yourself.
Il n'y a pas une voiture qui peut monter. Vite, elle est à la boulette. Vite, elle est à la boulette. Eh, mamma mia.
The role of the co-driver is very important. We never mention enough, for me, how much important it is to. And Fabrice was fantastic with me, and she really a great help. You need really a good co-driver to give you the rhythm. It's very important. We started the first season in 1981 with Audi, and nearly at the end of the season in Sanremo. Sanremo was a mixed gravel and tarmac. So 2 days, 1 night on gravel in Tuscany. And after a very big battle with Ari Vatanen and Henri Toivonen.
Very quick drivers.
I was leading for the first time the rally by a few seconds, 30 seconds, I think, something like that. So, of course, first time, a lot of pressure, a lot of nervosity, and I couldn't sleep. And we had like 4 or 5 hours to relax in Sanremo. And we had the last night. It was a very long stage, 50 kilometers around the Sanremo on asphalt. And I was sure something will happen, because Ari, didn't want to be beaten by me. I looked at Fabrice and I said to her, one of us will make a mistake. So we will start like if it is the first stage of the rally. concentrate and drove like if it was the first stage without, pushing too hard. And Harry did the mistake. So finally I won the rally. And I just remember, of course, it was fantastic and the mechanics were crazy.
Oh, wow.
They put flowers on my bonnet and everything. It was really a really hard time and a very good time because it was really an incredible first time for a woman winning in the World Rally Championship.
Yeah.
And I am still the only one, so unfortunately.
I was 2 years with Lotus. So then what happened? Got the phone call from Ron Dennis. And I was happy to be with the McLaren team. Absolutely great, big team and really professional. But then came to season 94, no victories, 95, no victories, 96, no victories.
Oh la la, this is...
So it was very difficult because people start wondering that is this guy good enough for winning? Is he good enough for the McLaren? So it was a tough time. And of course, same time, Michael Schumacher, when he
was on a roll.
Yeah, he was flat out. So I knew my performance level where I was compared to him. And it was quite,
frustrating.
Frustrating to see he's winning a world championship.
And if you win on Sunday, you'll be a new king of Germany, the first one.
We talk about this on Sunday evening.
Australian Grand Prix.
Quite happy in Benetton at the moment. Ferrari would be a very nice situation to drive in, as well McLaren, Mercedes, and Williams' team is very successful as well. So there's 4 good opportunities, and I'm gonna see and find out where I'm gonna drive next year.
Okay. Wins the Spanish Grand Prix after an absolutely superlative drive to bring the great Maranello
no concern, back right to the front of Formula One.
The year 90, I would say 96, 97, then we start seeing a light end of the tunnel, basically. The whole team really start focusing to developing the car to be better. And 97, I had a first moment to win a Grand Prix in the last Grand Prix in Jerez. Jacques Villeneuve, Michael Schumacher was fighting a championship, and it didn't end up so nice.
I want to see a straight fight between Jack and myself, and that's what I want to see. I mean, I want to win the race, and I want to win that way the championship, and not by any kind of accident or whatever. That's not my target.
Gets away and Schumacher gets away better. Mika Häkkinen is up there. Fantastic start.
You hit the wrong part of him, my friend.
If Villeneuve can just keep going in the points, he's won the World Championship.
There's Michael looking down the track to see if Villeneuve is coming around. Remember Michael looking through the fence of Adelaide to see if Damon was coming round. Well, I think he's going to see Villeneuve coming round and round and round.
So it gave me great opportunity then to get the lead. Ah, you see my hands again?
Is it on the... No, it just changed now.
Okay.
Other side.
And some team orders.
Mika Häkkinen has yet to win a Grand Prix, and the Finn has driven in 95 of them already. He can smell victory.
Keep concentrating, Jack, but Häkkinen is immediately behind. Last lap, last lap.
Patrick Head has just walked down and into the McLaren garage, obviously to have a word with them down there.
It took me 7 years before to win a Grand Prix, so it's a long time.
Long time.
It was a great victory, finally the champagne. And it was great to win there in the last Grand Prix because I was a winner the whole winter. So it gave me a good feeling, good confidence.
Anybody who's watched you and Mika Häkkinen come to each race every year, try to get just one win. It may be a championship at the stake, but for Mika Häkkinen, this is the most important day of his career.
The last one is fantastic. It's really, really good. It gives us a very good faith for the next season. It's fantastic.
I don't think if I would have won there in 97, I think then I would have lost maybe my motivation because such a long time.
I braked on the maximum, and he braked even later, which, as I said, with this braking point, I wouldn't have made the corner, and he wouldn't have made the corner. So he used me a little bit as a braking on top. But, well, as I said before, I probably wouldn't have done anything different.
Neve è stato bravissimo, era l'unico punto dove poteva entrare e
la dimostrazione che non se l'aspettava e che non pensava che lo avrebbe attaccato in quel modo è l'entrata in curva di Schumacher così larga. Se uno non si vuole fare infilare sta alla corda o lo chiude molto, molto prima.
Opinion has turned against Schumacher, his native Germany, and in Italy too, the home of the Ferrari team. All of the racing press have some pretty uncomplimentary things to say about him. The Italian press say that Ferrari should sack him and that he should apologise.
I never said I know everything about Formula One, and the case proved that I'm a human being as everyone else, and unfortunately, I'm doing mistakes. And that was one of my mistakes. I don't do many, but it was one. I couldn't give to all the tifosis and the Ferrari team what they expected me to deliver. And that's something I'm very sorry about.
It was 2006. I had the best day of my life. Racing in Formula One, in Ferrari. It's like a dream come true, definitely. Michael was my teammate. He was just an unbelievable driver in the best moment of his career. But I took the pole position.
Raikkonen on the right, Massa on the left. The Brazilian Grand Prix of 2006 is underway.
Leading the race, I was quite confident on the first position.
Massa, 2.5 seconds faster than anybody else on the racetrack.
Line now, and he thoroughly deserves it. An absolutely brilliant performance. Look at this crowd, they're going absolutely bananas. The first Brazilian since Ayrton Senna in '93 to win his home Grand Prix.
It was such an important moment for me that Michael was so close. It was so warm, you know, to celebrate my victory together. So I will never forget. It was definitely the most incredible day of my career, winning at home for the first time. So 2008 was a very special and good season. We started the season not great on the first, especially on my side, on the first couple of races.
But it's the best possible start to the season for Lewis Hamilton.
But then after 2 races, everything just changed.
Oh, Hamilton's up in the air! A terrific drive by Felipe Massa. No one today could match Felipe Massa.
Felipe Massa wins the French Grand Prix. He's a genuine title contender.
Hamilton holds the inside line and squeezes Massa, but Massa has made it through. What a bold move there by Felipe Massa. And he has taken control of this race. With only 3 laps to go. Absolute disaster for Felipe Massa, who's done everything right. Oh no! He's taken the hose with him. And it could well cost him the World Championship.
He's got a green light. Massa did nothing wrong there.
Lewis Hamilton wins the Chinese Grand Prix. He's not going to take the World Championship home today, but he's going to take a big step closer to it. He's got a 7-point margin going into the final round. Felipe Massa's face says it all.
And then we arrive in this last race of the season, which was Interlagos. was actually behind on the championship. So if I win the race, which was the only thing I had to do, so Lewis couldn't arrive 5th, so he has to arrive 6th, and then we are the champion.
Yeah.
I really feel the car on my hands, you know, the way you drive in the car, the way you feel in the car, the way the team is working. So everything was really perfect. Lewis was around 4th position, something like that. So everything was on his way to win the championship. And then suddenly it started raining really, really heavy.
Oh my goodness me! Vettel's taken the place, and that could cost Hamilton the World Championship.
Oh, it's
now raining hard, and the championship is slipping away from Lewis Hamilton.
And then we arrive in the last lap. So everybody expectation, you know, really high for me to win the race, but also the championship. When I crossed the checkered flag, I am the champion, you know? And so everybody getting really crazy around my place, my town, my country.
Can Hamilton do anything? Can he run it up the inside of Vettel? Only a few corners to go now, and desperation starts to creep in for Lewis Hamilton.
Is that Clark going slowly?
It is, it's Clark! Oh my goodness me! Hamilton's back in position again. 100,000 local hearts sink in the grandstands. It's handed the place back to Hamilton. He comes through. Absolutely right. I'm sure that he is going to claim 5th place, which is all he needs to do to become the 2008 Formula One World Champion, Lewis Hamilton.
It was tough, you know, I think especially for everybody that was watching the race. It never happens, at least in Formula One, you know, to decide the championship in this...
It was close.
In this moment, you know. But I think the best thing also looking to the fans, looking to the people, is like, I won the race. So, thanks to all of you, but this was really, that it helps me to go in the podium and kind of celebrating, you know, what was happening.
Yeah. A very dignified, very dignified performance by an utterly devastated Felipe Massa.
I started my season 1982. I won Portugal, so it was a confirmation of Sanremo, so it was really great, everybody very happy. Then we went to Greece. And I won Greece also. And at that time, you know, the role and the position of women in those countries were really difficult. And I really remember, you know, all the old lady on the side of the road with flowers. I mean, it was really a very special moment, you know, to see that people realized that it was a team of 2 women winning. So it was special.
The next round of the championship could see you overtaking Walter or perhaps drawing level. Could we possibly see a lady world champion this year?
I don't want to think about the World Championship, you know. I want to think about each event, and we will see on the finish. And the fight was with Walter Röhrl at that time. And we were in the penultimate event, was in Ivory Coast. if I was winning Ivory Coast, I had only to finish the rally here in England to be world champion. So we started and everything went well because it was very muddy, very difficult condition. I started to be leading a lot, and middle of the rally, I was more than 1 hour, 20 minutes lead on Walter. And suddenly I start to feel the gear shift, you know, starting to be a little bit harder.
30 seconds, quickly. Yes, yes, come on. Yeah, we lost 5 minutes for you yesterday. Michel. Hey, ça va pas se passer pour les gagner une semaine.
I spoke with Hannu and I said, you know what we do? He said, I mean, we have 1 hour, 20 minutes, you know, no, don't think about it. We change the gearbox and that's all. So we decide the places where we will change the gearbox. Normally it was around 20 minutes to change at that time. The mechanics start to work and 20, 30, 40 minutes. 40 minutes, they say, okay, jump in the car. So we jump in the car, I put the gear and then no clutch, no gear. Everything was blocked. Oh, no. And I have the 2 Germans in front of me saying, it should work. I said, no, I was so, you know, mad and nothing worked. So they started all over again. So I lost all my time, and then it was foggy condition, and you know, in Portugal, Walter on fog, I catch him 2 minutes on a 8-kilometer stage, because it's so important with your co-driver to have good notes, and you don't see anything, but you hear, you know, 100 meters, and you go. I learned that you never catch back the time. I was confused with the notes, and I rolled the car, and we stopped there. And the story was a little bit difficult because we started the race on the morning at 9 or 10 o'clock. But at 7 o'clock, I got a phone call from family saying that my father passed away. So this was quite hard to cope with that, and just to think about that, remind you hard time. So I spoke with Fabrice. I said, okay, this is what happened. We will do the race. I will not say anything to anybody. And we go in the car. And so we lost the championship. But I always said I even didn't think about the championship because, in fact, you know, the difference between losing my father and... so I didn't, it was really, I even didn't think about that. I just left and go back home.
98 was definitely a great year for me. And when we went the very first test with that 98 car, it was like a rocket.
Great start from Häkkinen. He's through. He's past Schumacher and Coulthard.
I mean, we were like so quick. Of course, racing against Michael Schumacher.
Schumacher's going for the lead of the Roger, and he right up alongside, and he's going through. Fantastic. Häkkinen fights back. This is magnificent. The lead changes twice in about 400 yards.
I felt great because, of course, Michael had great success already, and it was nice to kick his ass. So the season went on and on. Sometimes I had a little bad luck, sometimes I made a mistake.
Yeah, Machado! He's out! He's out!
And vice versa for Michael.
Schumacher leading Damon Hill there by 27 seconds now in a class of his own.
Oh, God! Michael Schumacher hits David Coulthard and is out of the Belgian Grand Prix.
But towards the end of the season, we were nearly on an equal point situation going to last Grand Prix, so I needed to win.
Stalled on the line. That is Michael Schumacher. Will he end up on the back of the grid? Listen, look, he's shaking his head, look. Michael Schumacher, under the terms of the regulations, has to start this race from the back of the grid.
Well, if that is the case, Michael Schumacher has almost certainly lost the World Championship before this race even begins.
So I went, yeah.
No.
No, I didn't do this, but I was like, stay calm, it's not over yet. It's not over yet. So.
You did inside.
yeah, absolutely. So I got the lead, and I knew that we are gonna pull away. Just need to stay consistent and not make mistakes. And
Michael is pushing incredibly hard. He's still got a sniff of this. 21 seconds behind the race leader, Mika Häkkinen. So there is still a small chance of victory and a world championship here. Michael Schumacher on the ragged edge.
It was never a situation that you could relax until I saw it on a big screen.
Michael Schumacher retires from the Japanese Grand Prix.
Mika Häkkinen is the
world champion of 1998.
And I was again, yeah! and then it was great to finish the Grand Prix and to be a world champion after all these years. And then Michael is coming to congratulate. It was really cool from him.
Mika Häkkinen from Finland, the world champion.
And 99 season, again. Michael and me and Ferrari and fighting again.
So you fight a lot together.
Yeah. Again, challenging for winning Grand Prix.
Yeah.
And then Michael had his accident in Silverstone. But it would look really nasty, and he did hurt his leg. Yeah. So he was out of the game, and I didn't celebrate that time, of course, because he hurt himself.
Michael is basically all right, and they flew him to the hospital just to check his leg.
So I was thinking, okay, maybe this season gonna be a bit easier. But then, pressure was just incredible, to handle that pressure and to controlling your motions.
Oh, and that's Häkkinen spinning! Häkkinen, the race leader!
Mentally really tough. So all the preparation for the last Grand Prix was, everything has to be perfect. Your personal team was working with you. The team has to work perfectly, and it was great feeling. Great 2 years, beautiful years.
I think 2000 was a great season again. And what stands out, I think, for us was the Camel Straight at Spa, when you had that hard fight between Michael and you.
I tried to overtake Michael, I think 3-4 times, and every time he was pushing me on the cross. And I knew that way next lap, when I tried to overtake Michael again, he's gonna push, you know, he's gonna block me. Only place was able to overtake was after Eau Rouge. I can see there's a back marker. Ricardo Zonda driving middle of the track. It was logical to Michael to overtake him on the left because the next corner will be turning right. I decided to go, of course, to the other side.
A brilliant move there, either side of Zonta, and Hakkinen brilliantly takes the lead of the Belgian Grand Prix.
It was quite a risk. When we overtook him, it's guaranteed he needed to change his underpants after the race. You know?
Hakkinen is now 6 points ahead of Michael Schumacher in the World Championship. Mika Hakkinen has the advantage.
Well, it was incredible. it was incredible. I knew that way following Michael, you know, it's no point to try to follow him and then try to overtake him and at the straight because obviously he's not going to give me a room. It's correct? Yeah, I make it difficult.
I had a word with him after the race. And I said, come on, man, you are risking not only your life, but also my life. And he just looked at me and said, oh, this is racing. I said, yes, but...
Where is the limit?
Yeah, but that was his style of driving.
I have to win it.
How are you feeling about that?
Terrible.
And Michael Schumacher is definitely very nervous. He needs to deliver this championship for himself and for Ferrari.
He's go, and Michael Schumacher cuts straight across and drives Mika Hakkinen towards the wall. But Hakkinen's done it again. He's taken the lead as he did last year and the year before.
It's now going to come down to strategy and pit stops.
These next 2 laps could well decide the Japanese Grand Prix.
And the World Championship.
To give Ferrari and Italy their dream.
Michael, give us your feelings.
Forget words. Shit. You're great, Ross. You're great, Ross. Shit. We did it. We did it. He's Corina, a big kiss for me.
First World Championship for Ferrari for 21 years. You're one of the architects of it. Tell us what it means to you and to this team.
Well, personally, it's why I came to Ferrari, to do this. So I've achieved my dream, and so has everyone else in the team.
Michael is a great driver, but I mean, I will put on top of that, he's a great man. We have been together when things were very bad, and I mean, we are together when things are very good. But I mean, I love Michael. I loved him when he had the accident at Silverstone, and I love him today after he gave the driver championship to Ferrari.
It's like father and son, yeah?
Am I so old? 2 brothers.
Michael Schumacher, yes!
Mika, you've been a superb world champion for the last 2 years, but your reign for now is over. How do you feel?
So sad. A bit disappointed, but same time I feel I have won 2 years in a row in 98, 99. You know, I understand it's sometimes some other drivers' turn to win. Life continues and racing continues. You have to keep fighting.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Good evening.
I got invited up to see Dr. Ulrich at Audi in Ingolstadt.
Yes.
I have to say, very humble building where they have started from with
My
your
time.
rally, with your time, with the rally program. They were still in the same place. I really felt really a good chemistry. Ulrich showed me the drawings of the R8 which they were going to enter for the 2000 Le Mans. Some people were questioning me going towards Audi, but I gave him a handshake, and that's the best decision I've ever done.
Tom Christensen equaling the record of the Belgian Jackie Hicks.
Tom Christensen is the greatest ever driver at Le Mans.
TK is in.
Lap times are good.
Tom Christensen is Mr. Le Mans.
For sure there's a pressure, but there's also the privilege of the dream of how we started with the passion of doing well.
Oh, Aston Martin at the chicane. It's Alan Simonson at the wheel.
Alan Simonson has died as a result of that crash.
I went into this race, I wanted really to race for my dad, because he passed away this year. But if I just imagine myself sitting down, having a little Danish beer with Alan and my dad, then we would both agree that I should try to win this race with Audi for Alan. And this is what we did. So you don't call that a happy ending.
Ferrari are Constructors' World Champions. Michael Schumacher is World Champion.
It's a great achievement for the team. It shows a very big domination of Ferrari.
Michael Schumacher, he is 5 times world champion.
I'm just so glad that we have achieved this together with people behind which you just can love and you just can admire with the effort they put in.
There are some rumors that maybe this dream team is going to split up in some way because Luca Di Montezemolo maybe is leaving.
Don't believe in rumors. We are here together, happy together, and we will stay many years together.
Michael Schumacher, the first 6-time World Formula One champion. In the distance is Kimi Räikkönen. A magnificent win for Kimi Räikkönen. Well done to him, but Michael Schumacher gets his 7th Formula One World Championship. Isn't this a race lover's heaven? The 3 best drivers in the world going toe-to-toe around one of its finest racetracks. Schumacher, Alonso, Räikkönen. Fernando Alonso trying to pass Michael Schumacher. 180 miles an hour around the outside of the 130R corner. I've never seen anything like it.
Look how calm it is behind the wheel. Räikkönen getting past Michael Schumacher.
One of the best days of my life, 1975 September, when we won with Niki Lauda the championship here in Monza. It means, of course, an important weekend because we will announce the team of next season. Michael is an important part of my life. We have faced fantastic moments and difficult moments, but he has always been very loyal.
You must be excited to join Ferrari.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Are we going to learn your future this weekend?
We just need to wait and see.
Schumacher wins the Italian Grand Prix.
The official press release, there it is. Look at the top line. Michael Schumacher will retire from race driving at the end of the 2006 World Championship. So it's the news that every Ferrari fan and every Michael Schumacher fan did not want to hear. It's got a load of sort of PR, nice stuff about how he loves Ferrari. And look, even his engineer, Chris Dyer, hasn't seen this.
At the end of this year, I've decided together with the team that I'm going to retire from racing. It has been an exceptional, really exceptional time. What motorsport in more than 30 years has given to me. Particular, I should thank my family, starting with obviously my dad, my passed away mum, and now I just like to concentrate on these last 3 wins and make it or finish it in style.
For him, that's the right time. He's on the top, and I'm sure he will have a very nice life.
Michael will remain as a member of the Ferrari family, this for sure.
I'd like to have with us our chief test driver, Michael Schumacher. And since, unfortunately, he decided to retire, he has been in charge of development of the 458 Italia. Michael.
Thank you for the introduction. I wish everybody that has the opportunity to test it great fun and enjoy. Thank you.
It happens something that nobody will believe, you know. So you just. I was in Budapest, 2009, and actually I did my qualifying lap. Exit of corner 5, Rubens lost his spring, the third spring of his car. And I was coming, around 250 Ks. And the spring just hit my head.
The spring, it's how much weight is it?
1 kilo, 900
And you're arriving
grams.
250?
I arrived in 250. I went to the hospital, and they made a quite intense operation.
Peço para todo mundo, com toda a fé, não importa a religião, que reze por ele. Tá bom?
So then they remove all the bones, and they close, and I was like 3 days in coma. flew back to Brazil, and I did another big operation a month after to put like a plate here, you know, because I lost all the bone on this area, you know. It took really a long time to get back to the car. You always know you want to go back to racing, but you never believe something will happen to you. When it happens to you, you just respect the life from yourself, but also from everybody in the big way.
The hardest hit I had was in DTM 2007. I don't remember in a way for days, but apparently it was 63 Gs the car had taken the impact. The recovery was not in a coma like that, but I knew how close it was. Our team doctor, Dr. Jon, who is, we always at Audi call him Dr. Death, but when we need him, he's always there. He came to visit me in Denmark and said, you have to see a neurologist, and if he gives you the thumbs up, you can start working on it. Before he does it, it's tough. Basically, I made my decision to come back at Le Mans, and he couldn't believe that I wanted to race again.
When I felt good enough, I said, can I have a go in a car again? And actually this healed my process, because when I drove, I knew instantly that, hey, this is where I belong.
But I think the message was, I don't want to stop like that. I don't want to have somebody to determine. And that
you wanted to decide.
It was a nice way to come back. You don't stop, you don't decide your career on an accident. I feel very sorry for the people in racing who had, due to more injuries, not being able to come back.
My accident in '95, it was quite a challenge, you know. Because what happened, you know, this happened in Australia and Adelaide, going flat out one long straight. Just when I was entering the corner, the rear tire didn't explode, it just lost the pressure very quickly. So the car started bottoming, and I lost the control, of course. There was a massive curb in the exit, and of course I hit that curb. And the car bounced a couple of times on the ground, hit the barrier sideways. And that time we didn't have the Hans protection or the, I don't know exactly.
The headrest.
Headrest system, you know, so the head moved really aggressively. So it was really difficult time. But I was very fortunate, because in the corner where the accident happened, all the medical crew was there. Hospital was just 5 minutes away, so everything happened very quickly. So I got the help very fast.
Level of care that he's received has been absolutely exceptional. They performed a tracheotomy at the side of the car. There is still some possibility of the brain swelling. He was truly, and still is, in a critical condition.
So yeah, I was in a coma a few days, and then the horrible things started, you know, because when you're waking up, you know, you start realizing like, oh my God, you know, because I banged so hard that way, I lost control the one side of my face, example, so the nerves got damaged. So when you were sleeping, they had to put the tape in your eyes, that way they stay closed. Then came the time when they start doing tests, that way you can smell normally, you can taste normally, you can walk.
How long you stayed in Australia?
I think I was roughly there 5 weeks, you know.
5 weeks.
And my girlfriend flew to Australia to support me. Automatically, you really put thinking away about the motor racing. You know, you start thinking, I can move my hands and, you know, those priorities came in your life. Later on, it helped me in my racing career, the accident like that, to slow down a bit. You know, you don't have to run all the time. Walk, think, take your time around you, what's happening. Then, 2001, I had quite a few accidents. You start thinking a little bit differently. I was very fortunate, you know, winning a world championship in 98 and 99. So I felt that way I have achieved now my goal, why I came to Formula One. So then I decided that that's it. You know, it's better to do something else. And I feel that was a good
the right decision,
yeah.
the right time.
Yeah.
It was 2014. I had the chance to win my 10th Le Mans. We were in the lead at midday, less than 4 hours to the end. Accelerating out of Dunlop corner. The next gear. And I felt like a little bit of loss of power.
The leader has stopped out on the circuit. It's a hard mistress, this race.
And then we come in the pit and it was a turbo, but obviously bloody hot. They were able to change it, but with it, I think it took a little bit more than 15 minutes. Maybe nearly 20 minutes, and we dropped down to 3rd position. We were still pushing to the end.
Audi doing their fastest laps of the race. An Herculean effort by the #1 car.
It was very tough. And actually we won 2nd place. Standing there, going to the podium with a sweaty hand in my mind on the trophy, but not being able to grab it, I was disappointed. And I remember meeting Dr. Ullrich and I said, I can't wait for next year. But I mean, you can't stop your age, you can't stop things. And a lot of young people are obviously coming and going very good and very fast. The decision to stop, I mentioned it for Hannah. And she came home, and after she had been at the shopping center, and she sort of dropped the bags and said, "You're gonna be happy. That's a good, strong decision." Family life is the most important thing. And I've not missed any racing at all, ever since. Maybe I'm lying a bit there.
So, you know, for me, after 5 years championship, I was starting to be a little bit tired. You know, it was 300 days a year you are out. And so I wanted to slow down a little bit. I didn't know how. Jean Todt, who was a Peugeot team manager, proposed me to do 2 events with them in the World Championship with a Peugeot 205. So I accepted.
The men drivers are all saying it's very hard rally, long stages. Do you think you're strong enough to cope with this?
Of course, it's my 12th Tour de Corse. I think a woman is more able to make a constant effort than to go very fast and down after. So I am not afraid with that. After the first day, I knew I was at my best. I was 3rd overall.
There is Michel Mouton going superbly well.
I had a problem with the gear shift and I stopped. But for me, it was my best rally. After that, I knew that I would miss my family life, and I was 35, and for me it was clear. I said to Frederick, who was my partner at that time, I said, okay, it's the end for me. And I stopped there, and I never regret that because I had my daughter Jessie the following year, and so it was great time.
End of 2016, I had that race in Brazil, Interlagos, that it was the last race of the season. It was raining so much during the race, red flags, and I crashed. I was so disappointed that, I crashed on my last race in Brazil. I started to walk back to the pits, and the whole grandstand, they stand up and they started to shake their hands for me. When I arrived in the pits, I saw that everybody from all the teams, even teams that I didn't race, it was outside of the garage clapping their hands. My son, Felipinho, waiting for me, my wife and my parents, and it was just an amazing feeling, you know. When you see these things happen, I think it shows that you have a lot of respect. But I was ready to stop. Our sport is quite difficult and it's quite hard, but it's also human.
I'd like to introduce Michael Schumacher.
Ross is the leader of this one, and I'm more than proud to be now part of you, and I look forward to a great future with all of you.
Which car do you see as being the fastest? Good question. We're here to find out. Am I as good as I was with 25? Who knows? We'll find out. I'll tell you later. My front wing again. That seems to be my weak spot at the moment. I think we should make them much stronger, those things. Naturally, I'm excited and very happy for this particular
particular weekend. I didn't have a clue where I am, third position. So, no, come on, not possible. Tried that mission to end successful. It didn't work this time, but quite happy to finish from here and go for a different life again.
My friends, it has been a pleasure to be with you today. I'm sorry that I cannot stay, but sometimes emotions can be too strong. Reliving my life with you has been a privilege, but it has brought back many ghosts. The next chapter of our story is too hard for me to tell. See you on the road. Felipe.
Michael Schumacher is said to be fighting for his life after a skiing accident in the French Alps.
The former racing driver is in a coma after undergoing brain surgery.
This injury is heavy and the overall situation is critical.
When I got the news, I was actually, the irony was I was with my family in Norway. We were skiing.
I couldn't believe, you know. First of all, you think, okay, it will go, because Michael has been going through so many battles that you cannot think he will lose this one. So you don't want to think about, you know, the worst.
I was shocked. And from my personal experience, having a head injury, it's always serious.
With each passing hour, concern for his recovery grows.
Gérard Saillon, France's top trauma specialist, has now flown down from Paris in another sign that this has been taken very seriously indeed.
Les médecins ne veulent pas vous en dire plus parce qu'ils ne peuvent pas vous en dire plus. C'est parce que, ça a été dit tout à l'heure, ils travaillent heure par heure.
And everything we heard about after that, I really think that, you know, he deserved to have his private life, his normal life. He was such a fantastic person and very cool and very open and smiling, laughing all the time.
The best times I think I had with Michael. I mean, there was a rivalry, like with everyone when we were on the racetracks. That was actually Norway. At Trysil, when he was there, sometimes I joined, we played football and just like kids, and that was the best time I've had with him.
Formula One is a lifestyle, it is a life. And Michael just decided to start enjoying his life with the family more. So I thought, well, why now? What is the purpose of this kind of situation?
Everyone coming with background from small, humble families, we all deserve a proper retirement. So that's the irony of the story. We have lived flat out. We've taken, you cannot believe the chances we have done, trying to make our teams proud. At the end of the day, our family's proud. And the plan is to spend a proper retirement. But you know, skiing accident in your free time, that's hard to swallow.
We have been hoping and hoping and hoping, and it's true that now time is passing and we still hope. Of course, bottom of my heart, I really hope. Stop. My daughter, who met a fantastic guy, decided to get married. Then 1 week before the wedding, my mother fell and she hit her head very badly. She was 90 years old, so of course it was panic. We saw the doctors. Our doctors, you know, came in the room with my sister. They showed us the X-ray and they said, unfortunately, no chance. She will not pass the night. I said, okay. So I decided to stay with her. Middle of the night, she woke up, she recognized me. I can talk to her. I couldn't believe it. Next morning, she started to speak, to laugh with the doctor and to be okay. The doctor couldn't believe that. So for us, you know, it was fantastic. So we continued the wedding, and then she was asking me, have you booked the hairdresser for me? And she has her dress ready, everything ready. Wow. And so we told her that, you know, she will come for the wedding, and maybe, you know, we make her hope that she could come. And she was hoping so much. During the wedding, we had her best friend who came to her and stayed with her, but she told her that the wedding was going on, and she will see the video, she will see everything. Next day, when we went to see her, she has her eyes closed, and she let it go and she passed away. She waited all the wedding to make us, you know, happy. And it was just unbelievable. We couldn't believe that.